Somewhere in your house, there is probably a nail. A little iron nail, small enough to hold between two fingers. It weighs almost nothing. Here is something strange. You are carrying about that much iron inside your body right now, around 3 or 4 grams. One small nail's worth of metal spread through your blood, keeping you alive every second. And it really is keeping you alive, because that tiny bit of iron has one job, and it is the most important job there is. It grabs the oxygen you breathe and carries it to every single part of you. Your brain, your muscles, your heart. Without iron, the oxygen you breathe in has nowhere to sit. It just washes back out. So think about that. The most common health problem on the whole planet is not some rare, scary disease. It is running low on this. One nail's worth of metal. Roughly 2 billion people, 1 in 4 humans alive, do not have enough iron in their blood. This has a name, iron deficiency anemia, and it can make a person so tired they can barely climb the stairs. It can turn their skin pale, and it makes some people crave the strangest things you have ever heard of. So how can one tiny metal, the same stuff a nail is made of, control whether your body gets oxygen it needs? And why do people who run low start chewing on ice? The answer is hiding inside a single red blood cell. One thing before we go under the skin. I'm a board-certified hematologist. Blood is what I've spent my career studying, so everything past this point is the real mechanism, told straight. Let's start with the oxygen, because oxygen is the main reason your blood exists. Every time you take a breath, oxygen rushes into your lungs. But oxygen can't travel through your body on its own. It needs a ride. That ride is your red blood cells, and you have trillions of them racing through you right now. Packed inside each red blood cell is a special protein called hemoglobin. It is the thing that actually holds the oxygen. And here's the wild part. One red blood cell is not carrying a few of these. It is carrying about 250 million of them. All that in one cell too small to see. Now zoom in even closer to the very center of it all. Sitting in the heart of each piece of hemoglobin is a single atom of iron. That iron atom is the exact spot where oxygen grabs on. It's a hook. A tiny metal hook that catches oxygen in your lungs and lets it go out into your body. So add it up. One red cell, 250 million hooks, 4 iron atoms on each one. That is over 1 billion little iron hooks inside one cell that you could never see with your eyes. And that is the answer to the whole mystery. Iron is the hook that holds oxygen. Take the iron away, and there is nothing left to hold on to. The oxygen you breathe just slides right past. But here's the problem. Your body is terrible at getting new iron. You would think that you could just eat more of it, and you do eat some. But your gut only pulls in about 1 to 2 milligrams of iron from your food each day. That is unbelievably tiny, a speck. So how does your body run on almost nothing coming in? It cheats, it recycles. Every day your body breaks down its old worn out cells. And before it throws them away, it carefully pulls the iron back out, every last hook, and uses it again. It saves about 25 milligrams of iron each day this way. Compare that. 25 saved, only 1 or 2 eaten. Your body reuses more than 90% of its iron over and over, like using the same water again and again and only topping off a few drops from the tap. And here's the part nobody talks about. Your body has no drain. There is no way to dump extra iron out on purpose. None. It can control how much it lets in, but it cannot push any back out. So it holds on to every scrap like treasure, because losing it is a disaster. Which means anything that causes you to lose blood can also cause you to lose iron. And that is where the trouble starts. Think about who runs low the most. Time. Doctors saw it again and again in young women, and they could not explain it. Hundreds of years ago, they even had a name for it. They called it the green sickness. Girls would turn pale, sometimes with a faint and greenish tint, and grow weak and out of breath. Nobody knew why, But way back in the year 1687, an English doctor named Thomas Sydenham found something that worked, even though he had no idea how. He soaked iron filings, actual shavings of metal, in cold wine and gave it to them, and they got better. It took almost 200 more years to understand what was really happening. The reason young women ran low on blood was blood loss. Every month with their period, they would lose a little blood, and every drop of lost blood carries away precious iron the body cannot easily replace. But it is not only women. Growing kids run low on iron because building a bigger body requires more of it. Pregnant moms run low because they are building a whole second person. And in older adults, running low can be a warning sign. It can mean they are quietly bleeding somewhere inside, from an ulcer, or even from a cancer no one has found yet. That is why a doctor takes new iron loss seriously. It is the body waving a flag. Now remember I said iron deficiency makes people crave the strangest thing? Here it is. It is called pica. That is when someone starts craving things that are not even food. Dirt, chalk, paper. But the most famous one, the one hematologists know by heart, is ice. People with low iron will chew cup after cup of ice all day long. It has its own name, pagophagia, and it is such a strong clue that a doctor who hears it often will check your iron right away. And the strangest thing of all, scientists are still not completely sure why it happens. Guesses are that the cold ice soothes a sore, swollen tongue, or that chewing it wakes up a tired brain for a moment. But when you give these people iron, the craving usually melts away in just a few days. Fix the metal, and the ice cravings vanish. That is how tightly this one tiny thing is wired into your body. Run low on a nail's worth of iron, and it does not just make you tired. It reaches all the way up into your brain and changes what you want to put in your mouth. So how do we know iron is really the hook that holds everything together? Because of a magnet. Back in 1746, an Italian doctor did something clever. He turned dried blood into a powder, then held a magnet up to it, and the powder moved. The magnet pulled tiny bits of iron right out of the blood. That was the proof, held in his hand, that there is real metal, the same stuff a magnet grabs, flowing inside all of us. Later, in 1864, another took the red coloring out of blood, made it into crystals, and gave it the name we still use today, hemoglobin, the iron-holding protein at the center of this whole story. We think of blood as just a red liquid, something that spills when we get a cut. Simple. But it is not simple. We have trillions of tiny ships, and each one is loaded with over 1 billion iron hooks, catching the oxygen from every breath you take and rushing it to keep every part of you alive. And the whole system runs on about one small nail's worth of metal, guarded so carefully that your body would rather recycle it 1,000 times than let a single scrap escape. Iron deficiency anemia is what happens when that treasure runs too low. The ships still sail, but their hooks are empty, and a body starved of oxygen gets tired and pale and cold and starts craving ice, all because of a shortage you could hold on the tip of your finger. So next time you feel iron in your hand, a nail or key, stop for a second, because that same plain gray metal is riding inside your blood right now, over 1 billion pieces of it in every red blood cell, catching your next breath and carrying it to your heart. One small nail's worth. That is all that stands between you and running out of air. I spent my career studying blood, and this part still gets me. Every breath you take, the hemoglobin in your red blood cells will catch the oxygen on its iron and carry it through you, again and again, without a word to you. Now, at least you know what it's doing. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, like and subscribe for more. Got a suggestion? Drop it in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.